Hi guys, Morten Aastad here. Welcome to my channel. This video is a response to a couple of videos that I watched this morning, Sunday morning. So, you watch a lot of YouTube videos from fine folks in the vinyl community. And Anthony, or Gambler followed by a number, and Mark did videos where I think the premise, although Mark may have changed it a little bit, was music you may be surprised that I own. Now, again, sort of the premise is that you know me, and then you see what I have as far as music goes, and you're surprised. Do you guys know me? There's a question. Anyway, so I was mulling it over a little bit, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, there are music I have in my collection that you might be surprised that I have. For example, people who know me know that I do not like country music, modern country music. I mean, I do have my Michael Nesmiths, and I love the country leanings of the Byrds and the Rolling Stones when they did country. But when you say something, then something else is often also the truth. And I do own, and was going to show you my Dixie Chicks CDs. Yes, I like the Dixie Chicks. But I couldn't find them, and then I realized that they are probably in Denmark, because I was living there permanently when I bought them, and there was a period there where I would never listen to them again, and I remember now that I wanted to listen to them, and I ended up just streaming because I couldn't find the CDs that I have. So that went out the window, and then I thought, well, I don't like rap music, and I don't like hip hop music. But there is one or two things that are sort of adjacent, and also that I don't like reggae music much. I tolerate it, but I prefer ska and two-tone. Your Madness and Specials, and crossing over to some Americans from the 90s, like No Doubt and so on. So I thought I'd show you guys some stuff that you're probably surprised or shocked that I own. And the first here is probably a taboo in the vinyl community. By the way, some of these are CDs and some of these are vinyl. And I have this many Nickelback CDs. Yes, and I'm not going to throw them on the ground. Back, when was this? 2000? 2002? Yeah, so roughly 20 years ago, I had been living in Copenhagen a little bit, and I've been to a school in Denmark for a while, and I was back in Skagen, little Skagen in Denmark, and I was kind of cut off from music. And we had an electronics store in Skagen that sold some music, not Nirvana as far as music goes, the conceptual place, not the band. And I remember in those couple of years, from like 98 until I moved back to Norway in 2002 or 3, I would sort of randomly pick up stuff that I'd either sort of heard of or looked like something that might be of interest to me, because I was kind of starved for new music. And this was sort of in the beginning of me buying online, but most of that, back then I collected movies, a ton of movies, which I more or less stopped doing since. So yeah, I got these Nickelback records. Not this one, this was later. I think, yeah, this was probably my first one. And you know, having loved grunge music, and I loved hard rock, and I suppose, was this before new metal ish? Which some of those I also really liked. I ended up buying them, and then later on, of course, I became aware of the almost pure hatred level towards them. And I remember a guy who was at my place here when I had a party, and he was looking through my record collection, my CD collection, because I didn't have vinyl again then. And he said, "You got this in your color? How can you?" So sort of almost berated me for having these, and that made me even more. I think I actually got a couple more as a reaction to that. And the thing is, I would never have this shit in my collection, and I try not to talk to other people like that about their music, because I know how important it is to them. And I mean, I didn't know him that well, and he got himself a girlfriend and then a wife, and then no record collection, because she told him that that wasn't something you needed anymore now that you were, with a woman and getting a family and getting a house, and you have streaming. So, yeah, I still got my records. Other thing that I have here, I only have one CD. The other 2 or 3, I think, are in Denmark, because I recently saw them. They're not here, and I found this in a box of records that are sort of superfluous, that I don't have room for here. So the CDs you see behind me now, and you know, they're all the way to the ground and a little bit higher than me. So these are things are about 185, 190 high. I'm 186. So this that you see here, yeah, that's probably 1/3 of my CDs. But I found one, and it's a Melanie C. And you're thinking, what, you were into the Spice Girls? No, I wasn't. They use an English term. They got on my tits, to be honest, because they were playing all the way. Especially when I was in school in Denmark, that every time I came into a common room or something, it was tell me what you want, what you really want. Oh God. But one of them stood out, and when she released her solo debut album, Northern Lights, I really, really liked Melanie C. So some people might be surprised to see that I have some CDs with Melanie C in my collection, and still think she's lovely. She was the one with a beautiful voice. It was sort of pushed a little bit in the background there, because she wasn't as, sort of punch my sexuality and in your face as the others, but amazing, fantastic voice. So next up, I just wanted to show, this is a pretty big CD collection. Here you go. And you might be surprised to find that I love and buy, I don't have everything, but I do buy quite often the CDs of Harryconic Jr. I think he's a fantastic artist. I love him as an actor as well. I mentioned in the previous videos where we're going, telling a little bit about my life and my dad and all that, and him being in a completely different generation. I grew up hearing some of his the jazz music that he loved from his youth, and we loved listening to Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and stuff like that. So a modern crooner is not necessarily that far-fetched. Sorry, I almost dropped all the CDs on the ground. So as you can see, quite the collection there. But how did I get into his music? Well, this is the reason. When Harry Met Sally, my dad and I watched that movie, and this was '89. So yeah, my dad and I went to the movies quite a bit, and we really liked this. We as some of you probably know about me, I love Woody Allen movies, and this was very near to those movies. And you know, the rom com, they don't make them like that anymore, and the music was of course old. What do you call them, standards, sung by Harryconic Jr. Because the entire soundtrack is Harryconic Jr. So I went out and got this CD sometime later. I also have several of his Christmas, because I love Christmas movies, and I love Christmas music. I love Christmas, even though, you know, I'm sort of a Norse leaning type person. So yeah, and I notice now that they're in the wrong order. So this is yeah, this is 20, isn't it? Yeah, this is the sort of the oldest of his CDs that I have. Here is the Christmas album, When My Heart Finds Christmas. Lots and lots of Harryconic Jr. Here's another Christmas one, and Harry for the Holidays. This one, this is lovely. Your Songs on Broadway. And this is the latest one I got, which is from 2019. It's been a while since I got one of his records then. So yeah, that's something people might be surprised to find in my collection. A huge bunch of Harryconic Jr. CDs. It's sort of my own thing, but it's also sort of a connection to my dad, who I still miss a lot. 29th of July, which is now, I suppose, a little over 3 weeks away, will be my father's 100th birthday. So remembering him, I might put on watch When Harry Met Sally, or and drink some. I haven't really had any beer since New Year's, so I might have some stouts or porters to remember my dad with. I could go on about lots of other artists that you might be surprised that I have. Some extremely heavy metal, which not that long ago wasn't really me. But I was saying about me not being a fan of rap music and hip hop and the modern so-called R&B. Sorry, I loathe it. But about 20 odd years ago, around the time when I moved back to Oslo, and I started going to some school to get some more education and everything, I stumbled across something strange. Now, I love Jewish culture. Part of that comes from my dad, loving those, you know, those borscht belt Catskills actors and comedians from the 30s and 40s that he grew up with, and later on, you know, we both loved watching Woody Allen movies, and people like Danny Kaye and that, and the memory my dad had of his Jewish classmates disappearing during the war because you know, they were arrested by Norwegian police and handed over to the Germans. And I think I think he had 7 Jewish classmates, 6 or 7, and just one survived the war. And so I always loved especially the American Jewish culture and entertainers and so on. The books of Chaim Potok means a lot to me as well. And then I came across I don't know if I call him a Hasidic Jew, but he was a kid who was of the Jewish persuasion from America, and he'd gone through a period where he wasn't necessarily on the right side of the law and everything, and now he was a performing artist, but strict adherence to Jewish law and so on, and he had the outfit and the curls and the beard and all, and the kippah and all that stuff, but he still performed a mixture of rap, singing, reggae style music. And I saw him here in Oslo back then on stage, and I thought he was amazing. He wouldn't perform on the Shabbos. So that's Matisyahu. And I bought a couple of his CDs back then, and then I had like a 16, 17-year break where I only listened to some of his new stuff on streaming, which I regret because some of those albums now are impossible to find at a humane price. So, but I recently got this one and one other on vinyl, and I've really been enjoying rediscovering Matisyahu. His style has changed quite a bit, as you can probably see on his hairstyle and so on. And he's probably become a bit more of a Gentile in his life. But I really like him a lot, and I really hope I get to see him perform again one day. He still seems so youthful and I don't know, life affirming somehow. He's had his ups and downs since as well, but love me some Matisyahu. And if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I love her and she's very dear to me. But people are surprised that I have such a huge collection of her, not only her CDs, but gradually vinyl and DVDs. But hey, look at her. Of course I have her DVDs. It's Kylie, wonderful Kylie. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to contribute to this video that Anthony and Mark did. And also it gave me an excuse on a very rainy, boring Sunday. I was going to go to a record fair, but it's outdoors, and also I spent there was a 25% discount at Platekompani's website yesterday, which is something they do during the Euro football thing. So I spent too much money there, but it gave me an excuse to sit and do a little drawing, which I hope you will already have enjoyed from my thumbnail. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please head over to Anthony and Mark. I'll link to them in my description, and have a hopefully wonderful July. See you soon. Bye.